The day began with a symphony of sounds echoing through the shelter where Alex slept. Coughs, snores, and the rustle of blankets filled the air as dozens of people stirred in the large, open room. Rows of bunk beds stretched from wall to wall, each one a temporary refuge for someone like Alex, someone who, just 3 months ago, had been forced out of a small apartment after a job loss spiraled into eviction. At 28, Alex never imagined life would take this turn, but here they were, waking up on a thin mattress atop a creaky metal frame. Alex slid off the top bunk, feet hitting the cold concrete floor. The shelter was crowded, with little space between beds and even less privacy. A small locker at the foot of the bunk held Alex's few possessions: a backpack, a change of clothes, and a battered toiletry bag. Space was so tight that Alex had to wedge the bag in sideways, but it was a luxury to have any storage at all. Getting ready for the day was a ritual shaped by necessity. Alex grabbed the toiletry bag and joined the line for the bathroom, a dimly lit space with a handful of sinks and toilets serving far too many people. The air smelled of damp tile and cheap soap. In line, Alex nodded to familiar faces: Mike, a gruff but good-natured man who always had a quip ready, and Sarah, quieter but quick with a smile. "Morning, Alex," Mike rasped. "Ready to conquer the world?" Alex managed a grin. "One step at a time, Mike." "You. Living the dream," he said with a wink, and despite everything, Alex laughed. These small exchanges were a lifeline, proof that even in this place, community thrived. At the sink, Alex splashed cold water on their face, brushing teeth quickly with a toothbrush that had seen better days. The shelter provided toothpaste and soap, but they were communal, and the supply was limited. A quick wash-up was all Alex could manage. No hot showers here, but it was enough to feel awake. Combing through tangled hair, Alex caught a glimpse in the cracked mirror: tired eyes, but a spark of determination still flickered there. Back at the bunk, Alex dressed for the day. The jeans were a size too big, cinched with a belt, and the t-shirt went under a hoodie topped with a woolen sweater, worn but warm, Alex's favorite piece. Layering was essential. The autumn chill seeped through everything. Breakfast was next, served in the common area where volunteers dished out oatmeal and coffee. Alex grabbed a bowl and a paper cup, joining a table of shelter regulars. The oatmeal was plain but hot, and the coffee was strong, small comforts that fueled them for the day ahead. As Alex ate, conversation flowed. People swapped tips about job leads or warned about a street to avoid. It was a network built on shared survival, and it meant everything. By 8 a.m., the staff began ushering everyone out. "See you tonight, folks," one called, and Alex stepped into the crisp morning air, the city buzzing around them. The shelter was behind them now, and the day's challenges lay ahead. With the shelter doors locked until evening, Alex's first mission was food. The oatmeal would hold for a while, but lunch and dinner were question marks. A food bank a few miles away opened at 10 a.m., so Alex set off, the worn sneakers slapping against the pavement. Each step rubbed at the holes in the soles, but new shoes weren't in the cards, not yet. The walk took Alex past a bakery, where the smell of fresh bread drifted out, tempting but out of reach. Once, Alex had asked for leftovers and been waved off curtly, so they kept moving, eyes fixed on the food bank. Arriving just before opening, Alex found a line already forming, people of all ages, some chatting, others staring at the ground. Alex joined them, greeting Maria, an older woman with a warm voice. "Morning, Maria. Heard anything good today? They might have fresh veggies," she said, eyes lighting up. "Wouldn't that be something?" "Definitely," Alex agreed, stomach rumbling at the thought. When the doors opened, the line shuffled forward. Volunteers handed out bags, canned beans, pasta, a loaf of bread, and yes, carrots and apples. Alex thanked them, packing the haul into the backpack with care. It wasn't gourmet, but it was sustenance, and that was enough. Food secured, Alex turned to the next priority: shelter for the night. The shelter operated a lottery system for beds, and check-in wasn't until 4 p.m. If Alex didn't get a spot, the streets were the fallback. To prepare, Alex scouted options during the day. A park nearby had a secluded bench, and there was an alcove behind a warehouse that offered some cover. Safety was never guaranteed, thieves and worse roamed at night, so Alex stayed cautious. For now, warmth was the focus. The library was a haven, a place to escape the cold and use the free computers. Alex headed there, settling into a chair with a guest pass. Job applications were the goal: retail, warehouses, anything. But Alex also grabbed a book on entrepreneurship, flipping through pages about small businesses. In the backpack, a notebook held sketches of a dream, a food truck serving affordable meals. It was a long shot, but it kept hope alive. Lunchtime came, and Alex found a park bench to eat. The canned beans were cold, paired with bread and an apple, a simple meal eaten while watching joggers and dog walkers pass by. It was a strange feeling, being part of the scene yet invisible to it. Shelter still loomed large. By mid-afternoon, Alex trekked back to the shelter to try for a bed. A crowd had gathered for the lottery, and tension hung in the air as names were called. When Alex rang out, relief flooded through them, a bed for the night. Others weren't so lucky, their shoulders slumping as they turned away. Alex knew that feeling too well. It could easily be them tomorrow. Inside, Alex stowed the backpack under the bunk. Resourcefulness had gotten them this far, cardboard for insulation, a hidden stash of snacks in the bag, but the day wasn't over yet. With shelter secured, Alex's day shifted to survival and possibility. First stop, a community center hosting a job fair Tom had mentioned at breakfast. The center buzzed with activity, tables lined with employers, job seekers clutching resumes or, like Alex, just hope. At a supermarket table, a friendly woman handed Alex an application. "Cashiers and stock clerks," she said. "Any experience?" "A bit," Alex replied. "Worked at a convenience store a while back." "Good enough. Fill this out, and we'll see about an interview." Alex completed the form, using the shelter's address and a prepaid phone number with dwindling minutes. Handing it in felt like planting a seed. Maybe it would grow, maybe not. Next, Alex visited the library again, applying for more jobs online. The routine was familiar: search, tweak the sparse resume, hit send. Afterward, a stop at a free clinic addressed a nagging cough, a reminder that health was fragile out here. The nurse was kind, offering advice and a few cough drops. Interacting with the world wasn't always so smooth. At a coffee shop, Alex counted out spare change for a small cup, but the barista's sneer stung. "Move it along," he muttered, as if Alex were a nuisance. Later, a store clerk followed Alex down an aisle, suspicion clear in his eyes. These moments chipped away at dignity, reinforcing the stigma that clung like damp clothes. Yet there were bright spots. At the community center, a volunteer named Lisa chatted with Alex about a job training program. "You should come tomorrow," she said, her smile genuine. "It could open some doors." And in the park, an older man struck up a conversation about the weather, treating Alex like a person, not a problem. These kindnesses were lifelines, proof that not everyone looked away. By late afternoon, Alex returned to the shelter, exhausted but buoyed by the day's small wins. Dinner awaited, spaghetti and green beans, and with it, the comfort of familiar faces. Over the meal, Alex shared the job fair story, and the table buzzed with encouragement. It was a fragile hope, but it was there. As night fell, the shelter grew quiet, but Alex's mind raced. On nights like this, with a bed secured, there was still unease. Tomorrow could bring anything. Lights out came at 10 p.m., and Alex lay on the bunk, the backpack a makeshift pillow to guard against theft. Sleep was fitful, punctuated by dreams of a small apartment, a warm bed, a life reclaimed. But not every night offered this refuge. When the shelter was full, Alex joined others under a bridge by the river. The spot was cold and exposed, but it had a community. On one such night, Alex arrived as dusk settled, laying cardboard and a blanket near a concrete pillar. A small fire crackled nearby, tended by Jake, a grizzled veteran. "Rough day?" Jake asked, passing a bottle of cheap wine. "Could have been worse," Alex said, taking a sip. "Got a job lead, maybe?" Jake nodded. "That's the spirit. Hang on to that." Around the fire, stories unfolded, tales of lost homes, distant families, and stubborn dreams. Alex listened, then shared their own: a food truck, a fresh start. The notebook came out, its pages glowing in the firelight as Alex sketched a new design. The others watched, offering gruff praise. Sleep was harder here, with the city's hum and the constant need to stay alert. Alex dozed lightly, blanket pulled tight, thoughts drifting to aspirations: a degree, a business, a roof overhead. Resilience wasn't loud. It was in the quiet will to keep going, to hold on to hope despite the odds. Alex's day reveals the truth. Homelessness is more than a lack of walls. It's a daily fight for basics, a battle against stigma, a test of spirit. From waking in a crowded shelter to scavenging for food, From facing rejection to finding kindness, Alex's story mirrors countless others. Yet it's also unique, shaped by dreams of a food truck and sketches in a worn notebook. This isn't just Alex's fight, it's ours too. Homelessness thrives in indifference, but it shrinks with empathy. A smile to someone on the street, a donation to a shelter, a voice raised for affordable housing, these acts matter. Organizations like food banks, shelters, and job programs are lifelines. Supporting them can change lives. Picture Alex getting that job callback, or stepping into stable housing because a community cared. Change isn't a fantasy, it's a choice. So next time you pass someone like Alex, don't look away. See them. Help them. Together, we can rewrite their story, and ours, with hope.